Hello, guys. Welcome to part 2, where we are going to learn about perfect and perfect continuous tense. Now, let's start with present perfect tense, which is used for actions that happened at an unspecified time before now. Or you can also say actions of recent past. That means the time of action is not specified, is not important, but the action is important. Now let's see the structure for present perfect tense. Subject plus has or have plus past participle form of the verb, we call it V3, plus the remaining sentence. Has is used with he, she, it, and have is used with I, you, we, they. Let's see an example. He has finished his work. Here in this example, the time of action is not important. An action of recent past is a completed action. And according to the structure, we have taken he takes has, finished is V3, which is also known as past participle form of the verb. V2 is also written as finished. Both are written same but used with different tenses. And V1 is finish. V1, V2, V3, finish, finished, and finished. Suppose we change the subjects. Let's take, for example, I. I takes have, I have finished my work. If we change the subject to they have finished their work. So this is how it works. All you need to change is the pronoun. Let's move to past perfect tense. It is used for actions that were completed before another action in the past. Actions that were completed before another action in the past. Both of the actions are in the past. Let's see the structure. Subject plus had. Here we have had. Had plus past participle form of the verb plus the remaining sentence. The remaining sentence is actually the second action, okay, that happens after the first action. We are going to see it in the example. Let's take the subject he. He had left before I arrived. This is the first action, and this one is the second action. He had left is the first action, and it happened before I arrived, the second action. So the first action will take the structure he had left, subject plus had plus V3, and the second action will stay in past simple tense. I arrived. Here arrived is V2. Subject plus V2 is a structure for past simple tense. Remember that. First action, second action. He had left before I arrived. Now let's move to future perfect tense. Future perfect tense is used for actions that will be completed before a certain point of time in the future, a certain future time. Let me come again. Actions that will be completed before some point in the future. Now let's see the structure. Subject plus will plus have, will have, plus the past participle form of the verb or V3, plus the remaining sentence. This is the structure. Here, the remaining sentence actually is the future point of time. Let's see an example. She will have finished She will have finished the project by tomorrow. So, according to the structure, by tomorrow is the future point of time. And by this point of time, she will have finished the project. This is what future perfect tense is about. Also, keep in mind that here there's no need to change have or has as we did it in present perfect tense. Keep in mind that with future perfect tense, we always take will have with all the subjects. Suppose if we change the subject to he, then it should be he will have finished the project by tomorrow, or we will have finished the project by tomorrow. The structure is going to remain the same. Will have finished. This is all about future perfect tense. Keep in mind the structures and the rules. I've given you the examples. Now let's move to perfect continuous tenses. There are three types of perfect continuous tenses. The first one is present perfect continuous tense. We use present perfect continuous tense for actions that started in the past and are still going on in the present, still continuing. Now let's see the structure. Subject plus has or have plus been plus verb, ing form of the verb, plus for or since, plus time, plus the remaining sentence. Let's see the example. Let's take the subject they. They takes have. They have been studying for 2 hours. This example says that they have already started studying. The action is already started in the past and it's still going on. 2 hours. For 2 hours shows that the action started 2 hours before now. The action already started and it's been 2 hours. One more thing that you need to learn is the difference between for and since. For is used with duration of time, like 1 hours or 2 hours. They have been studying for 3 hours or 4 hours. And since is the exact point of time when the action started or the starting point of time. They have been studying since 8 a.m. Also keep in mind that have is used with they, I, you, we, or plural subjects, and has is used with he, she, it, or singular subjects. All you need to do is follow the structure. Like he has been studying for 2 hours, or she has been studying since 8 a.m. This is what the rule says. Now let's move to past perfect continuous tense. It is used for actions that began in the past, continued in the past, and ended in the past. Began, continued, and also ended in the past. Now let's see the structure for past perfect continuous tense. First, we are going to take the subject plus had been. Had been. Here we had has or have according to the subjects, but here we use had been for all the subjects. Subject plus had been plus verb plus ing plus for or since plus the time and the remaining sentence. Let's see an example. We had been working since morning when our boss called us for the meeting. When our boss called us for the meeting is that point of time in the past when the action ended. Past perfect continuous tense tells us that something or some kind of action started in the past, continued for some time, and also ended in the past. The action doesn't continue in the present, it has ended in the past. Suppose we change the subject to I. Then the sentence would sound I had been working since morning when my boss called me for the meeting. All you need to change is the pronouns. Now, this is the rule for past perfect continuous tense. Let's move to future perfect continuous tense. Future perfect continuous tense is used for actions that will continue up to a certain point of time in the future. Now let's see the structure. Subject plus will have been. Subject plus will have been. Keep in mind that in future there is will have been. In past there was had been. And in present one we had has or have according to the subject. So just remember the structures. Subject plus will have been plus verb, ing form of the verb. All of the continuous tenses takes ing form of the verb. Remember that. Plus for, we are not going to put since because since is a past term. So only for. Plus time plus the remaining sentence. Now let's see an example. They will have been working for 3 hours by the time we arrive. By the time we arrive is that point of time in the future which shows that by this point of time when we will reach to these people they will have been working for 3 hours. The work is not completed. The work will not be completed but it's going on. It talks about the future action that will be going on for some time in the future at this point of time. This is that certain point of time in the future. It shows or talks about a future action that will be going on. This is what future perfect continuous tense means. Just remember the structures I'm telling again and again. Remember the structures, keep the meanings in your head, and you're done with all the kinds of tenses. Hope this is helpful to you. I've given all the 12 types of tenses in part 1 and part 2. If you guys have missed the part 1, please go and check it out. Do like, comment, share, and subscribe. Bye bye.